Wow! Ho! Hey! Ho! Wow! That was a super fast review of new Pelikan release. If you want to know more about all these puzzles, keep watching the video. And if you want to know the date of the new release, keep watching this video till the very end. The first puzzle from this release is called Zeus. It was designed by Asanori Yamamoto. This puzzle was made using 3 different types of wood: mahogany, maple and purple heart. Zeus puzzle has 5 parts, 4 pieces and a frame. And the goal of the puzzle is obviously to take it apart and reassemble it again. As you can see, it is very easy to make a huge progress when solving the puzzle, but it is not so easy to remove the parts, since you have to find the correct sequence of moves to solve it. All 4 parts of this puzzle are exactly the same, and the frame has restrictions on each of the sides. We see a lot of puzzles of this style from Asanori Yamamoto and Pelikan lately, but I'm missing good old Peking puzzles from Asanori. Maybe next time Pelikan can make one of those. The next 2 puzzles were designed by Stuart Coffin, and both of them are based on a classic star puzzle. The one on the left is called Triumph. It was made using 2 different types of wood, acacia and purple heart. The one on the right is called Four Corners, and it was made using 2 different types of wood, acacia and Venge. Even though both puzzles are based on a classic star puzzle, they are not so easy to solve. First of all, it is not easy to take them apart because of amazing quality of craftsmanship from Pelikan. The parts are very tight, they are sit well together, and it is very difficult to find which piece you have to move in order to take the puzzle apart. The same is for Triumph. It is very difficult to find the first piece or a couple of pieces that you have to remove. And then when you have a bunch of exactly the same parts in your hands, it is not so easy to assemble them back together, since you have to figure out the correct way how to do so. I'm wondering if it is possible to take both of these puzzles apart and then reassemble them using parts from Triumph with the parts from Four Corners. It will be some kind of a monster from 2 puzzles, but I guess it will be possible, since both are based on a classic star puzzle. And the name of the next puzzle is Dinosaur. It was designed by Alphonse Eichmanns, and this puzzle was made using 4 different types of wood: acacia, Venge, Paduk and purple heart. The goal of this puzzle is obviously to take it apart and reassemble it again. The Dinosaur puzzle has its name because of the small piece in the middle, which looks like a dinosaur, and it is a part of the puzzle. You have to take the puzzle apart, remove that piece, and then assemble everything back together. This is quite unusual puzzle for this type, since usually we have like 12 parts, but this one has 4 on this side, 4 on this side, and 6 parts on this side. Even though the puzzle looks crazy difficult, it requires just 36 steps to take it apart, with 11 steps for the first piece. So it is not extremely difficult, and you will be able to take it apart without using any help, but the assembling will be, as always, difficult, since it is not only difficult to find which piece goes where, but it is also extremely difficult to hold the parts in your hands when you're assembling the puzzle. The next puzzle has one of the most unusual looks in the entire release. The name of it is Maijas. It was designed by Terry Smart, and the puzzle was made using 2 different types of wood, maple and zebrano. The name of the puzzle comes from Egyptian mythology. Maijas was an ancient Egyptian lion-headed god of war. The goal of the puzzle is to take it apart and reassemble it again. At a first glance, this puzzle doesn't look so difficult, and I thought it will take me just like 10 minutes to take it apart, but I was wrong. Even though the puzzle takes just 38 steps to take it apart, it is very difficult to find the correct moves. Even though you can move a lot of parts straight from the very beginning, it is not so easy to find the correct sequence of moves. And that makes this puzzle quite difficult to take apart, and assembling is quite a challenge as well, since, as you can see, when you assembling the puzzle, you have this body part which is made from maple, and you have legs on one side, on the other side, so you have to kind of hold the entire puzzle from left and right, and you just have 2 hands. You have to use another third hand to help yourself to move the parts in and out of the puzzle. As you can see, just one move and half of the puzzle looks disassembled, but it is not so easy to take it apart. Even if you are not a fan of such puzzles, it is a great showpiece and must have in any puzzler's collection. I have only two puzzles left to show to you, but both are my favorite. The name of the first one is Broken Box. It was designed by Lucy Powells. This puzzle was made using two different types of wood, cherry and Venge. And this puzzle is quite unusual since it is not one puzzle, it is 6 puzzles in one. How is it possible? That's how. First of all, you have to remove all parts from the frame and you can mix them and then figure out the way how to put them back inside the frame. It will be quite a challenge. Then you can split the frame since there are magnets on each side of the frame and you can make another frame. And now you have to figure out the way how to put all these parts inside the frame in such a way that you will cover the entire frame and there will be no sticking out parts. Once you are done with this challenge, you can split the frame again, flip it, and now you have another shape. And now you have to cover both openings on both sides of the frame. Once you are done with this one, it was like third. Now we have another option. You can put the parts like so and figure out the way how to put them inside. Then you can rotate this part and we have another frame and you have to find a way how to put parts here. Then there is a small way that goes to another side and the rest of the parts will be here. So it was 5 and I have to figure out the last one. The last one is this one. You can just flip the original frame upside down and you have to figure out the way how to put all parts inside. So as you can see, this puzzle has 6 different frames and it has quite a complicated pieces. All of them are made either from 6 voxels or 8 voxels, and it will be quite a challenge to find a way how to fit all parts inside of this frame. So quite unusual puzzles. I like puzzles which you can enjoy solving for a while, like this one. There are 6 challenges. That means that you can play with this puzzle 6 times and have a lot of fun trying to figure out the way how to solve it. And the last one and my absolute favorite puzzle from this release, it is called Tau. This puzzle was designed by Dr. Volker Latusek. Don't be surprised to see 3 versions of this puzzle on my desk. I will explain it a little bit later. Only this puzzle will be released by Pelikan. It will be made from Mirbau and Acacia. The goal of the puzzle is to remove all parts from the frame and then put them back inside the frame in such a way that the opening will be covered and there will be no sticking out parts. The name of the puzzle comes from Greek letter tau, which you can see on a frame. Actually, on this dark color frame, you can see it a little bit better. So as to 2 other versions of the puzzle, I got this puzzle in my hands first in February 2022 when Dr. Volker Latusek wrote me an email asking if I want to test his new puzzle, and I obviously said yes. And that is the puzzle that I 3D printed on my 3D printer. Then when Pelikan decided to release this puzzle, they sent me this version of the puzzle. It looks great. It is a nice puzzle. I finally figured out the solution. It has an amazing solution with a couple of very tricky moves that are difficult to find, but this wasn't the perfect version of the puzzle. As soon as I found the imperfections, I wrote an email to Dr. Volker Latusek and to Jakub from Pelikan saying that this puzzle doesn't look as good as regular Pelikan puzzles, and you can see it right here. This piece is perfectly in line with the top part of the frame, but this piece is like a ½ millimeter down inside, and it's getting even worse when you solve the puzzle and the solution doesn't look as perfect as you expect it to be from Pelikan. So Jakub checked the rest of the puzzles from this release, the rest of the Tau copies, and said that there was an issue with the wood used for the pieces. It wasn't dried well, and that's why the puzzle has a problem. So Jakub decided to make another version of this puzzle which will be perfect, since Pelikan can't allow them to release unperfect puzzles people expect only the best from Pelikan puzzles. And that's how the last version of the puzzle came up, and it will be released like so. The Tau puzzle has 4 parts. I talked too much about the history of the puzzle and I didn't show you even a single piece of the puzzle. First of all, the frame. The frame was designed by Laszlo Molnar, and it was his no holes buried puzzle. And Dr. Volker Latusek decided to try to figure out another parts for this puzzle to make it even more interesting. And that's how he came up with these 4 pieces that at first glance look exactly the same, but they are all a little bit different. At first glance this puzzle looks easy, but believe me, it will be not so easy to find solutions, since you can easily fit 4 parts inside the frame, but there is only one way how you can put parts inside in such a way that all opening will be covered and no pieces will fall down. The puzzle requires a couple of very tricky moves that are very difficult to find. All these 7 beautiful puzzles will be available at Pelikan's website starting from next Friday, 16th of September, 10 AM Central European Time. Don't miss the release, since some of the puzzles will be sold out in a minute. Like, subscribe, see you in my next video.